Hello, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your new moon in Cancer message. It is a general collective reading, so as the messages come through today, take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it is meant for someone else to hear. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. So for you, Taurus, the new moon in Cancer would be a readjustment, if you will, in your communication style. So if in the past maybe you were a little passive aggressive to get your point across, or perhaps you suppressed your wants, needs, or desires, the new moon in Cancer is calling for you to be a little bit more emotionally expressive with what you desire from particular situations, environments, or connections in your life. So no longer being passive aggressive and no longer suppressing what you want, just being able to come out very directly and say, this is what I need from you. So it'll be interesting to see if this comes through in the reading for you. So let's tap into the Taurus collective now. Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What is the new moon in Cancer message here for the Taurus collective? Let's get one more shuffle. Thank you. Your message, Taurus: distant thunder, clear the air. Wow. And the air would be Mercury, would be communication. Right? And then at the bottom of the deck, we have desert passage. Trust there is a divine plan. Okay, tell me more about distant thunder here for the Taurus collective. If you notice that powder that just came out when I cleansed your cards last night to prepare for this reading, I used card fanning powder to be able to shuffle the cards easier. And I guess yours just erupted there. That was kind of cute. A little bit of magic for you today, Taurus. So tell me more about distant thunder here, please, for the Taurus collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. Why is this their new moon in Cancer message? One more shuffle. Thank you. Taurus, we have for you the Queen of Swords. We have the Nine of Wands. And we have the Five of Wands. Bottom of the deck, we have Seven of Pentacles. I think you have a lot that you want to say to particular people in your life. Could be family members, friends, people you work with. It could be a partner. I think you have been biting your tongue, okay, when it comes to things that people have done or said that have wounded you. I think you either were passive aggressive about it or you suppressed it and said nothing. I think it has caused internal conflict, and I think many of you will be feeling this call this week to vocalize some of these issues that you have. Tell me more about that Queen of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. Queen of Swords is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. Yep, what I said is the truth. We have the Four of Pentacles, and we have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, bottom of the deck, Ten of Cups. Ten of Wands, Ten of Cups, that Four of Pentacles. I think you've been holding in a lot of emotional disappointment. And I think you're going to clear the air, at least with one person this week. It's like I've been holding it in. It's like I can't hold it in anymore. I finally have to say something about it. Nine of Wands. Tell me about the Nine of Wands here. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Nine of Wands is clarified by the Empress. That's your major arcana card that you share with Libra. The Seven of Cups and the Page of Wands. Bottom of the deck, the Fool. I think it's taking you a while here to process all of these various emotions that you have. Not sure if you should say something about them. I think this has been a learning journey for you when it comes to vocalizing your wants, needs, or desires. I've known many a Taurus in my day, and they usually have a very difficult time expressing their wants, needs, or desires. Now, if you're a Taurus and you're like, well, that's not me, then this isn't your reading. This is specifically for those of you that when someone wounds you, you suppress. You suppress to keep the peace. So if you're at work and someone gives you a backhanded compliment, you may roll your eyes or you may make a face, but you're not going to confront them in that moment. You're not going to jeopardize your job. You know, if a friend or family member does something that wounds you, you're not going to call them out, particularly if you value that connection or want to keep it in your life. So you're going to suppress it. Most Taurians suppress it. And I feel like you have been battling yourself lately about whether or not you should say something here that you've been holding on to for a long time. It's becoming like an albatross. around you here. It's like it's weighing you down. Like I have to clear the air, right? I have to say something, even if it causes a mild disturbance, because the truth is it's causing a mild disturbance within you, just holding on to it. So tell me about that Five of Wands here for Taurus. One more shuffle. Thank you. Five of Wands is clarified by the Four of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Chariot. Bottom of the deck, we have the Star card. I think some of you don't want to disrupt that Four of Wands, whatever is structured or stable in your life. This could be in respect to your job. It could be in respect to people that you live with, roommates, family members, spouse, significant other. It could also, in that Four of Wands, could also be like within your community. Like maybe you've had issues with a neighbor, but you haven't wanted to say anything. So again, you don't want to cause a disruption. So I think you've been wondering for a while now, do I move forward and finally say something? And the Chariot being, you know, Cancerian energy, and this is the new moon in Cancer, I do think you are going to say something about all of these doubts, fears, anxieties, pain maybe even, that you have been suppressing for so long that you have felt kind of trapped. I think you are going to say something, and I think it will be a very, very healing moment for you. Tell me more about what Taurus has been holding in. Again, I apologize for that fanning powder going everywhere, but I do find that your cards are not slipping as much as they usually do, and it is a lot smoother for me to shuffle them. Watch me drop the whole deck now, right? I just jinxed myself. But tell me more about what Taurus has been holding in. Four of Pentacles to that Ten of Wands. One more shuffle. Thank you. Knight of Pentacles. You've been holding this in for a long time. The World card and the Ten of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, the Tower. Yeah. You've been holding it in for a long time because you know that once you say something, it might cause an ending, or at the very least, some type of thunder, meaning like maybe a verbal sprawl or an argument. So you've been holding on to this for a while, something that you've wanted to say to someone who's part of this Four of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. It could be your boss, supervisor, manager, someone that you've known in your life for a long time. Could be family, family members. It certainly could be a spouse or someone that you have financial resources entangled with. But it's almost like once I say it, Justice card, it's going to be the right thing for me to say this, but it may cause a disruption by saying it. I think you need to trust that there is a divine plan. There's a reason why you're being called to express this, to say this. Tell me more about that for Taurus. What else does Taurus need to know about clearing the air here? And then we'll close it off with some advice cards for you, Taurus, and a Moonology card. What else does Taurus need to know about this? One more shuffle. Thank you. Page of Cups, the Hermit, and the Six of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Pentacles. This might not end up being the big showstopper that you think it's going to be. I think some of you think that if you voice this, it's going to be the end of whatever this is. And I don't know if that's necessarily the case. For one, I think that you can say this in a gentle and loving way. I don't think it has to be cutting. I think you can address some concerns here that you've had. I think there's something here that you are becoming more wise, and you're understanding the importance of vocalizing wants, needs, and desires instead of suppressing them. And there's an outcome of victory here for you. I think regardless of what happens, once the words come out of your mouth, I think you're going to feel really good that you finally said it. This is like, I finally stood up for myself and I said what has been bothering me, or I have expressed a want, need, or desire. Whether the person on the other end can deliver or not, there is a sense of freedom and excitement and victory that just comes from speaking up for oneself. Tell me about what occurs here once Taurus does say this. Yeah, I would trust that there's a divine plan here, Taurus. There's a reason why you're feeling called to say something. One more shuffle. Thank you. What occurs here? The Devil, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Tower. Bottom of the deck, Two of Wands. I feel like I've tapped into a group of you where you are about to address something that nobody else really wants to address. It's like you've been seeing this for a while. Some type of toxic pattern, toxic attachment, a bad habit someone has. And this could be in regards to anything. You're calling out someone because they're codependent. You're calling out someone because they don't do their work at work and they put it all on you. You know, maybe you're calling out a family member who mooches off of you, or someone who's only with you for your financial resources. You're definitely calling out someone's toxic pattern or trait or habit. And yeah, what occurs here, it's a little rock or shock for the person on the other end hearing it. But for you, it's victory and relief because you finally said it. Let's get you 3 cards of advice here. 2 of Wands. I think you've been wondering for a while. You've been at the crossroads. Should I say something? Should I not say something? Let's get you 3 cards of advice, and then we'll close it out with that Moonology card. 3 cards of advice here for Taurus. One more shuffle. Thank you. Your advice. 9 of Cups. The Hierophant. That's your other major arcana card. And the 6 of Cups. Bottom of the deck, 3 of Swords. Sometimes we have to say the truth. Even if the person on the receiving end is not all too happy to hear it. Sometimes we just have to say it because we're doing right by us. Right? The 9 of Cups. 9s in tarot are very singular in nature. Think of the Hermit is card number 9. We have that in your deck, the 9 of Pentacles. Even the 9 of Swords, when we're worried with something, we're worried internal to us. So it's a very singular number. So your advice here is to go ahead and speak your truth because there is something very emotionally liberating when you do that. Again, even if the recipient isn't all too happy to hear what you have to say, you will feel the sense of relief just in saying it, just in clearing the air. And sometimes, you know, I'm noticing with that Hermit card that was here, you did have the Hermit card, correct? Yes, you did. This also looks like the Hermit to me, right? The individual holding a staff here, just like the Hermit does here. I almost get the feeling that if you don't do this, I think in this one instance, you are a teacher. There could be someone here behaving in a way where they're not really aware of how they're behaving, or they're not really aware of the impact it's having on you. So in some sense, Hierophant to the Hermit, this would be your moment. Like this is a teachable lesson for this individual, even if they don't like it. I think that's just like a little side message there for some of you. So let's close it out now with the Moonology card here, please, for Taurus. A Moonology card here for their new moon in Cancer message. One more shuffle. Thank you. Your Moonology card. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. And at the bottom of the deck, we have luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. I'm telling you, there's something really good that actually comes out from you saying whatever this is. But I do think you need a practical plan here. So maybe you need to make sure you have the right timing, right? Like if this is someone that you work with, you might not want to say it immediately at 8:01 in the morning when you walk into the office. Maybe this is something you want to say later in the day, or you want to have lunch with this person to address the issue. So, and remember what I said with that Page of Cups, like you might be able to do this in a loving way, or like soften it a bit so it doesn't come across so logical and so rigid, kind of how like the Queen of Swords actually can be. So you can create a plan here, arrange an environment, if you will, that softens this a little bit. But yeah, once you say it, I think it's very, very refreshing here for you to do that. And that is what I have for you, Taurus. That is your new moon in Cancer message. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, comment, subscribe, hype the video on your mobile device if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out your other placements. If you'd like to view the collective new moon in Cancer reading, that'll be posted later today over on Patreon. And a link for that is in the description box below, as well as the pinned comment. So if you'd like to join us there, we would love to have you. If not, that's quite all right. I hope that you take these messages and that they help you move forward and heal a communication wound that you seem to have. Until I read for you again, Taurus, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace.